to my channel. You can call me new if you didn't already know. And in today's video, we are going to be getting into my testimony of how I got into this apartment, why I moved, why I felt like I really needed to go from one place that I prayed for to another. If you're looking for inspiration and motivation, keep watching and let's get into it. Okay, so a couple of things before we really get into it. I will be kind of reading off of something. It's not that it's scripted, but there's kind of just so much to unpack. I don't want to like just start rambling. I just also want to make sure I don't miss anything. And I still feel like I probably missed something as I wrote everything down. I thought I probably missed something, so we're gonna see. Also, yeah, I'm sipping on some tea because it's kind of late at night while I'm filming this. I just really kind of just wanted a cup of tea. I have yet to find the perfect coaster, so I am using a envelope and it works, so. But first things first, God is good. God is so good, okay? And it's not about just the materialistic things that we want in life, right? If you're spiritual, you know it's something deeper. But I know a lot of people will just, when they're asking for blessings and things like that, it's to receive something materialistic, but it should be deeper than that. For me, it definitely is. But as far as this apartment, I just felt like it was like the perfect timing through everything that I've gone through in the past and things that led up to this. It's just crazy. And I always just think like, you may want things right now, but God is always going to supply exactly what you need on His timing. And you have to just buckle down in your faith and trust that and trust the process. When I came across multiple apartments that I was like looking into, I didn't want to just go applying to everywhere. I did have like specific things that I was looking for. This one, once I kind of settled down on like my top 3, but then I started driving past this one. Mind you, I was not living near this one, but I would drive past it and say a prayer. I actually would like pull up to it and say a prayer, and it wasn't even built at the time, so I was just kind of just praying over it and just asking God to align this in my life. And I also not just prayed and said, hey God, I want this. I also prayed and communicated to God and let Him know, like, listen, if this is not in your plans, I do understand. And then that's not gonna like make me mad or frustrated against Him. Because again, I just know that if it's meant to be in my life, it will be, and God will make a way for it. He'll make room for it. So I will constantly say like, yes, I am praying for this, but at the same time, if this is not what you want, I know it won't be done and I can't be upset about that. And then when it came to prayer too, it was a little bit of confliction because my last place kind of did the same thing. Like I would like drive past it and pray over it. I would have like family pray with me over it because of a situation I was coming from prior to that. It was more so needed than wanted. And I prayed so hard for that. And when I received that, I was so thankful, so grateful. So it kind of got to a point where it was a little bit conflicting that I almost felt bad and guilty praying for something new, not necessarily like a new build, but just praying to get out of that, to go somewhere else when I prayed so hard to get into there, and God answered that prayer. So it was a little bit of like confliction on my heart because I was trying to like, make sure that God knew like I'm still grateful, still now very grateful for that last apartment. And I will never, ever not be grateful for that, not be thankful for that. As much as there was issues, I'll never regret it because it was something I needed and God answered that prayer for us. So it was just like, I feel like bad asking for this. But again, if it was meant to be in my life, He was going to make a way for it. And now that I'm here, it's kind of confirmation that it was supposed to be. So I'm very happy about that. So some things that I did as well, as far as like on a spiritual level, I don't like to like ask God, give me, right? I really don't. And then also, I feel like that you shouldn't just be asking, right, without giving. And that's in any type of relationship, family, romantic, friendship, and spiritual. It is not gimme, 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 and think you're supposed to receive without giving as well. So I had some self offerings, nothing like, I don't want to make that sound like crazy, but like there were things that I had like really bad habits, nothing that would like hurt someone or hurt myself like that, nothing like drug related, alcohol related, things like that. But it was things that like I like to do that I know I probably shouldn't have been doing, and I had to just, you know, kind of offer that up and say, God, look, I'm serious about this, and I want to show you that I'm serious about this. So I'm willing to give this stuff up to show you that I'm serious, and hopefully that will help this prayer become something real. I remember like my pastor saying something, and I'm not exactly quoting him, but it was something along these lines like, God will give you more when you show him you can handle what you already have. If you're struggling or can't manage what's in front of you, he'll see that you're not ready for more. And that kind of just stuck with me because like I was never like struggling. Like I'm very on top of things when it comes to like my bills and just like priorities. I'm very on top of that stuff. So it wasn't a thing of like I'm struggling with it, but because I wanted to leave so bad that I was kind of like, you know, doing things in a lazier way. So I had to just buckle down and just get back serious and get everything in order to show God like I can handle this, I can handle more. So I got, you know, real disciplined with myself and made sure I was getting it together. Another thing that was like a push for getting into this place or this next chapter of my life, not just the apartment, was one day just like it woke me out of my sleep. I literally, the first time this ever has happened to me, and hopefully not the last, God literally spoke to me and I heard him say 2 words: get ready, like loud and clear, like woke me out of my sleep. And I just heard that and I was just like, all right, well, here we go, let me get ready. The way I got ready would probably be kind of like very interesting, I feel like, for some people, because it wasn't just like, oh, let me just prepare by doing this, this, and that. Mind you, let me just give you a timeline. I heard that probably a year prior to moving. So me getting ready, it wasn't just like, oh, get ready, you're about to move next month. And you don't know that, right? You don't know God's timing. It's like I need to just get ready, because when it happens, I want to just be ready and not, you know, struggling to find this and packing this up or whatever. I did not know when it was going to be happening. So when it did, I would be ready because he told me to, and I wanted to be obedient to that. Yeah, at the time, like I said, the place wasn't even built. So that was another thing. I'm getting ready for something that's not even here yet. I haven't even applied officially yet. I have not gotten a word of getting approved, but you know what? God said, get ready. Oh yes, and on multiple occasions, my faith was tested, and I don't want to say it as like, oh, it was a test, like I just knew that I was gonna fail. Whenever it's being tested, there's nothing that can really like can turn me away from God. Like that faith is really anchored because things in my life that have happened, and I'm not even 30, okay? And it's crazy that in that short timeline, things have just like happened in my life that God has made a way through it. And the timing too, like one day maybe I'll get into it, but the timing of things that like God has brought me through, oh my gosh, like there was one specific moment, there's a bunch, but this one specific moment really just made me trust him even more. I've known God all my life, but I've never really had this connection as much as I do now. Something clicked and I was just like, wow, God is real. God is real.
Baby, God is real in my soul. Amen. Talk to y'all later.
And he really is like, he's up there making moves that you don't even know about. Like I'm speaking on something now, like he's got moves way ahead of me that I haven't even thought of, that he's working it out. So hallelujah, praise God. Okay, now getting into me manifesting this place. It's not just, me praying over it and asking God. Now then it becomes like speaking it into existence and putting like life into the words that we speak. Some of the things I did for manifesting this place, some of this might be weird. I don't even care. It works for me. It worked for me and it's working for me and the things that I'm going for in the future now. So I, on my map, like on Google Maps, you can like label things. I labeled this address as home. Before it was, again, I didn't even apply yet. I had not obviously been approved yet. It was just a thought. But I said, you know what? I need to get this ball rolling and speak it into existence. I labeled it on Google Maps as home. Something else that might be a little weird. This is how much faith I had in God, for real. Like knowing that I was gonna move, not necessarily this place. I actually ended up moving some of my doctors closer out this way. I moved like my regular PCP, my dentist, and like my dermatologist closer to this area. Again, I didn't live over here, okay? So like for me to do something like that, that really is just showing like I know this is gonna happen. I'm definitely manifesting this for sure. I moved those things out here. Then I was checking like the distance from obviously like work and stuff like that. I was also looking into like what local businesses were around this location. I was also looking, like simple things like how close is the nearest Target? How close is Walmart? How close is like a mall or something like that? A movie theater, like restaurants that I like to go to just to see. Like that didn't really wasn't a determining factor, but again, I was just like, well, I need to see how close this stuff is to my house. How long it's gonna take me to get to here. Just already, again, speaking it into existence, seeing myself drive into these places and knowing like, oh, it's only gonna be 5 minutes or whatever. Something else that I did that again, it was kind of like, ooh, I feel a little bad doing it, but I stopped calling my previous place home. This is just the place where we lay our heads, which is not a bad thing. That is a blessing. And it's like, again, a struggle that I dealt with, because I'm like, dang, I don't want to I'm not trying to poop on this place, right? But and we're gonna get into that. But it was time to move on, and I didn't want to feel attached to it anymore. I wanted me to feel like I let go so I could move on. Kind of like a bad relationship, right? You really do have to let it go so that way you can move on to something bigger and better. And if I was still calling this place home, right? Or if you were still calling your ex your man or your girl and y'all really wasn't together, how are you going to move on? That's just how I saw it. And it worked. So for me mentally, right? It worked. So that was that. A lot of things that I did too, as far as like manifesting and also just that preparation that God was telling me to get ready. I sold and donated and got rid of a lot of furniture. That was like a big bold move, because again, I wasn't sure when I was moving, but I was getting ready, right? I also started gathering boxes, to start packing up and stuff like that, without knowing when, just knowing to get ready. And I was only packing like the non-essential stuff. I wasn't packing like everything. I didn't have just, a toothbrush and then that was it. Everything that I was still using on a daily basis, we had out, but some of the stuff that we just didn't need, but it wasn't something I could get rid of, got packed up and was ready to go. Something else that I had to do for myself, and this was hard because I'm such a creative person. I love decorating, especially during the holidays and things like that. I actually had to kind of put that on reserve. Yeah, so I had to put some things on hold as far as decorating. So for Christmas, we put up the tree. Obviously, we gotta put up the tree, right? But I like to go all out, decorative things all over the place, down to the bathroom, okay? Bedroom, bathroom, entryway, living room, kitchen, all of that. And I couldn't do that stuff because that was a part of the non-essential things that were packed up, and what I wasn't gonna do was unpack something just to put it up for a temporary time just to repack it because I didn't know when it was time to go, but I just wanted it to be ready. And I felt like that was also like a mental symbolism that if I was unpacking it, that meant, oh, you know, I'm still staying here a little bit. No, it was, all right, it's packed up. That means we're going. We out of here when it comes time. So I couldn't do that. The tree I didn't pack up, so because I kind of knew, I said at this time, if I'm not moving yet, I do still want to have the tree out for like my daughter. And then going back to like how I said, I had like self-sacrifices that I did. Whew. One of those things was I banned myself from going to any type of home store. So, you know, like Home Goods, at home, even like the home sections of Target and Walmart, I was not allowed to go because I know me. I cannot go in there and not find something that I need. Probably don't need, but I could see how I can make it work in my space. So because like I wanted kind of like, again, I didn't want to bring stuff into the apartment. I wanted that stuff to be coming out. So I definitely didn't want to get new things, even if I didn't put it away and like I would just pack it up. I didn't want to do that because like I wanted to get into the new space and let the creative juices flow that way so I can find inspiration. I wasn't finding the inspiration from that place for this place. Like it wasn't working that way in my mind, and I didn't want it to anyway because again I was trying to just let that place go. So I was not allowed to go to those places, and that was a struggle. Okay, so like I said, this all started about like 8 to 9 months of me knowing that, okay, yeah, for sure, I'm definitely moving. And when I started to get ready, that was hard. I love those stores so much. So for me to just like drive past and I'm just, it was hard. It really was hard, but I had to give up those things again to show that, hey, I can be disciplined and hopefully receive. So, whew, yeah. But yeah, that started to like really wear on me mentally because I love to create in so many different spaces and different avenues. Like that really is just like my thing. So for me to not be able to create properly and like even like this, I've been wanting to do this for so long, and I definitely couldn't do it in that space because it was half packed up, and it never gave me that pure inspiration. I don't know if it's just because of the connection of me wanting to leave because of things that was going on or what, but it wasn't working. So I couldn't create, and that was really messing with me to just want to and have it but not be able to. Like it was such a struggle. Going back to like how I manifested it, I do this kind of with everything. I really do not speak on things until they are done, and I mean done. Like it's been some time and it was done. So I did not even like tell my friends and family that it was even happening. Obviously, like some things you could tell like they were like packed up. So when people come over, they were like, you know, oh, you moving? I'm just like, oh no, I'm just just trying to organize some things that I don't really use that much. I wanted to speak it into existence, but also not jinx myself. So music was another factor that helped me get through this and get to this. I listened to certain types of music that was like encouraging for my spirit and for my mental, because going through all that stuff that I couldn't do, I needed something to kind of just keep me going, keep me uplifted, and keep me believing. One song, not in particular, because there was a lot of songs that I kind of low-key, I want to create a playlist, just kind of like my testimony playlist, and really the songs that just pushed me through. I might do that, I don't know, we'll see. But a song that like always like just got me right was, I believe it's called Something Good. I'll fix it on the screen if that's not what it's called, by Anthony Brown. He like says something in there. He was like saying like, oh, that email is on the way and miracles are happening. It's about to be a real good day. Like, and I'm just like, yo, That's exactly what I need. I need that email saying, hey, listen, boom, 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 yes, yes, yes. I would listen to that over and over and over, along with other songs, and I'm just like, I can't wait. I cannot wait, because that's really just how it's gonna happen, and I know it is. Then I would also listen to like just any type of like calming music, so any type of like peaceful meditation, stuff like that. So if I just didn't want to hear any words to get my mind like, because you know, when you're hearing those words and songs, you're now thinking of those things, you're putting yourself in a situation. Sometimes that was a little bit too much. So I just wanted just music to kind of just mute the mind and keep everything neutral. So a lot of like jazz music, again, just regular like nature sounds and stuff like that helped me a lot. Really, because it started wearing on my mental, because it was month after month after month, and never did I ever like say, okay, well, it's been 4 months, God, what happened? You said get ready, what's going on? Like, of course I would always like pray and say, listen, I'm getting ready. I'm not pushing God and saying, oh, you know, why not right now? His timing is the right timing. So when it was gonna happen, it would happen. I'm not saying that that wasn't like, oh, okay. You know, I just had to trust him through it, no matter what. The why we needed to move is heavy. It really is, because there are some things I'm just not gonna speak on, because I can't even believe that it was happening. It all started when Macarona came to town. I wasn't like why I needed to move exactly, but the issues started around that time. So while everybody was home, right? Everyone was home because everything was shut down or whatever. And I guess the people above me were not used to being home, because when I tell you, they were making so much noise. And you know, if you live below someone, that's just, it's gonna happen, right? People can't be quiet all the time. But this was insane. Like, they were wrestling or something, like body slamming people onto the floor. It was like loud booms, and at all hours of the day and night. Now we all home, okay? We can't really go out, so it's not like I could really escape that. And it was just insane. Like, and I would never like complain to the office, or like, you know, confront the neighbors and stuff like that. So I was just chilling on it for a second. I was just like, all right, this is kind of getting bad. So I did end up talking to the neighbor, and she was like, oh, it's just my kids, you know. And I was just like, no, I understand, you know, I have a kid. And I just kind of left it at that. But she said that she was gonna tell them to tone it down.
Bruh.
It got worse. I don't know if that was on purpose or whatever, but it got worse. And it was just a lot, because like I said, it was during the day, okay, but then it was also at night. Then it was also at 3 o'clock in the morning. Bro, what's going on? I've mentioned it to you, and I'm not gonna sit there and keep going back and forth with you, especially if you said you were gonna take care of it. I'm not gonna run to the office, because what are they gonna do about it? Especially this place, they didn't really take care of things the way that they should have, problem-wise. That's another reason. There was a lot of noise, not just from above me, but from out in the common area. So the way that the style apartment was, it was like hallways, almost like a hotel kind of situation. So that area belongs to everyone, right? You would have kids, adults, through the hallways, running, loud, screaming, cursing, da 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 da. And mind you, I have a child, okay? I'm not trying to say like, oh, you shouldn't do all this stuff because I have a kid. But it's like I have to be careful of what I'm exposing to her. And if you got kids, very clearly kids, not just adults too, kids right outside. Not outside, but like in the hallway, screaming and cursing and just talking crazy. That's a problem. Where are the parents? We ain't gonna get into that, but like that was bothering me. Like, where are these people? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's not cool that you're taking an area that's supposed to belong to everyone and you're just kind of misusing it. But, ooh, yeah. there was just like mess and garbage and nastiness in those common areas, in the stairwells and stuff like that. And what did the property do for that? Nothing. Probably didn't mention this yet, but when I first moved in, this was not like that. There was not a lot of noise besides, like, you know, the regular stuff. The trash was kept up with, it was clean, it was nice. And then something after Macarona, I don't know what happened, just people just stopped caring and it just got really nasty. If you know, you know, I don't like that. I really don't. I don't expect people to be like me. But the nastiness, I feel like you should at least be a minimum, have like a very regular baseline for cleanliness. And that was so below it, it was crazy. And it would just stay like that. Yes, these people should be cleaning up after themselves, but clearly they weren't. And it's like, okay, after days, even weeks, why isn't like the property taking care of that stuff? But that was not sitting right with me, and it was really nasty. And why macaroni came to town, all these nasty germs and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into it. But people not cleaning up after themselves was blowing me for real. Then there were like security issues. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but that was a huge concern. Like, again, I am a mother, okay, and I have a child, and my job is to protect her, and I always will. So like that stuff I did bring up to the office because now it's about to affect my life and my child's life. I bring it up to them and they say that they're gonna look into it. They said that they're gonna fix it. They did something that they said fixed it, and then I watched it happen again and again and again, and I'm just like, how's that even possible? It's time to go. It is time to go. Also, another like security thing was the way that like packages got delivered. That wasn't necessarily on the property. Things would be delivered and there was no like secure package room. It was just right there out in the open. So anybody, even though there was cameras, could just take it if they felt like it. So what's the camera gonna do if it's something that's irreplaceable, like a certain type of like memory or something custom? I had something delivered, actually my laptop, bruh. There was like a little area that you could walk into, but then the inside was locked. And that's where they should have had access to. They could like call you and you can let them in for them to deliver it, not in a secure place, but deliver it in a somewhat secure place because that inside the inner door was locked. They opened the outside door and just dropped my package off. I got the notification that it was delivered and I saw the picture and I was like, oh no, why is it delivered on the outside? My computer was very expensive. So not that they knew that what it was, but still, like, why is that just left like that? I get home and it's not in the spot where the picture was. I started freaking out. So somebody had moved the package from the side that they delivered it to the other side. Why? Well, first of all, why are you touching my package? It's not like they moved it to the inside, because sometimes some people would do that. They didn't even do that. Like, they just moved it. I don't know why, but that had me like freaking out. I'm like, see, this ain't cool. Not like, I needed things to be a little bit more secure. Like, I did not like having things delivered unless I was gonna be there, but I couldn't predict the delivery time. So that wasn't cool. I didn't like that. But then there were like other bigger issues, and I really hope that this doesn't seem like very like, oh, these are such small problems. I'm making them small, okay? Because I'm trying to keep it nice and light, because at the same time, as much as I can complain about that place, I will never not be grateful for it. So, but like I said, there were other bigger issues, very, very scary issues. And yeah, all in all, it was definitely just time to go. I did, and I'm just like, okay, cool, can't do this. Then yeah, it's just that a lot of concerns started just popping up. And because if it was just me, I would just deal with it. Of course, I want better for myself, but now I got someone else that I need to give the best to, because she did not ask to be here. I asked God for her to be here. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my absolute best to give her the best. So it was time. It was time. Again, I will always be grateful to have that place because of a situation that I was coming out of. It was much needed. And I will never, ever, ever take that for granted. I will always be thankful to God. Thank you so much for just providing me with more than enough of what I need, not just the things that I want. And that's why I have to be like very careful with being appreciative of this place, because I wanted it. But you know, just gotta be grateful for the things that we are given, because just like as quickly as they are given, they can be taken away. So definitely show some thanks. I don't want to make this too long. If I missed anything, I will try to add it to the description or down in the comments below. Again, I hope that you find some inspiration and motivation if you're looking to move. Do not give up. Okay, that I know is very cliche, but it's so true. I got a signal and a sense from God to get ready for something that I was going into blindly, that I did not know when it was going to happen. And it was about that 9-month span. Okay, 9 months is a long time. Do not give up. If it's something that you truly do want, speak it into existence, pray on it. And if it's meant to be in your life, it will be. Just trust God and just don't give up, for real. I really hope that whatever it is that you're looking for is what's best for you, and whatever your situation is. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched this far, have a good night, good morning, good week, good day, good weekend, and good luck to you in your move. If you like this, please leave a like with your thumbs, comment down below, and also subscribe if you're into decorating, DIYs, moving vlogs, inspirational things. Can't get enough.